Assalamu Alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. In life, we meet people who change our trajectory, encounters that seem to be more than a simple coincidence. Sometimes we feel like certain relationships are meant to be, that everything lined up perfectly for them to happen. But what is it really? Is this a coincidence, or is there a deeper wisdom behind these encounters? We have all, at some point, encountered someone who has had an impact on us, whether it be a friendship, a mentor, or even a romantic relationship. But have you ever thought about how these people came into your life? Was it just luck, or a sign of Allah's will? Perhaps you have gone through periods where you felt lost, unsure of which direction to take, and suddenly someone appeared to guide you, to provide you with answers. Maybe you've found the person you're with now, and you're wondering if it was God's plan all along. This is what today is about. How does Allah guide our meetings and relationships? How is His will manifested in this area of our lives, which is often so intimate and complex? We will explore these questions together. Before starting this video, do not forget to like this video because it gives us a lot of strength to continue sharing beneficial content. And I invite you to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell to stay informed of our upcoming publications on the Islamic faith. Thank you and good video. Allah's sovereignty over our lives. In our lives, it is easy to think that we have total control over the events that occur, that every encounter, every turn, is the result of our choices or our luck. However, in Islam, we firmly believe that everything that happens is in the hands of Allah. Nothing happens without His will, and every encounter, every event, is guided by His infinite wisdom. The Quran clearly reminds us of this truth in the verse of Al-Baqarah 2284. To Allah belongs what is in the heavens and what is in the earth. Whether it is what you conceal or what you make known, Allah is fully informed. He will reward you for what you have done. This verse reminds us that everything we experience, whether joyful or difficult, is part of a divine plan beyond our understanding. Allah knows everything, and every event in our life, including important encounters, was written before we were even born. The concept of Tawakkul, total trust in Allah, is essential in this context. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, teaches us that we must do our best in everything we do, but ultimately we must place our trust in Allah. This faith in Allah is what allows us to understand that, even in times of doubt or difficulty, every situation has a greater purpose, even if we cannot always see it. Let's imagine that a person is going through a hardship, such as losing a job or a broken relationship. In such situations, doubt can easily set in, and the person may wonder why this is happening to them. But if that person puts his trust in Allah, he may discover that this loss was actually preparation for a better opportunity that will come later, a time when he will meet the person Allah intended for him. It is often in these moments of suffering or loneliness that we learn to draw closer to Allah and see the signs that guide us toward divinely ordained encounters. Take the example of the story of Abu Bakr al-Siddiq, may God be pleased with him, the closest companion of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Before the Hijrah, migration to Medina, he lived an ordinary life. However, Allah had a plan for him. During the migration, a chance encounter with a group of people led to a powerful alliance, and this allowed Abu Bakr to play a crucial role in preserving Islam. This was no mere coincidence. It was a divine act. The interconnectedness of events and encounters in one's life teaches us that even situations that seem like obstacles are actually steps toward a better destiny. We must constantly remind ourselves that even in those moments when we do not immediately understand the reason for an encounter or event, it is all part of Allah's perfect plan. This can sometimes be difficult to accept, especially when faced with moments of confusion or uncertainty. But that is precisely where the beauty of our faith lies, knowing that we can trust in Allah, even when things don't turn out the way we imagined. Indeed, Allah's divine wisdom in our lives is immeasurable, and it teaches us that every encounter, every moment of our lives, whether joyful or difficult, has a purpose even if we do not immediately understand it. It is in this unshakable trust that we discover the deep truths that govern our existence and our relationships. Signs that Allah wants you to be with someone. In life, there come times when we question the path we should follow, especially with regard to human relationships. Sometimes we look for direction, a clear answer about who we should accompany in this life. The signs Allah sends us can be subtle but powerful, and they often reveal profound truths about the destiny God has written for us. 1. Doors that open with ease. One of the clearest signs that you're meant to be with someone is when doors open in surprising and natural ways, even in circumstances that seemed impossible. In Islam, we believe that everything that happens in our lives is directed by divine will, and when two people are destined to meet or be together, Allah makes that meeting easier, even if the path seems difficult at first. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "If Allah wants good for a servant, He opens doors to ease for him." Sahih Muslim. This means that even if the circumstances seem complex or upset at first, Allah, in His infinite wisdom, will make the process simpler, smoother, and full of blessings. When you are on the path Allah has chosen for you, challenges and obstacles turn into opportunities. Sometimes unexpected encounters or events arise, gradually bringing you closer to the person who is destined for you. Take, for example, the story of Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, and Umar ibn al-Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him. Their friendship was marked by a series of events where Allah facilitated their meeting and alliance in key moments of Islamic history. Their meeting was not a simple coincidence. Allah guided them to accomplish essential actions together in the development of the Muslim community. 2. Inner peace, sakina. Another strong sign that you are meant to be with someone is the inner peace or sakina you feel in their presence. This peace of heart is a gift from Allah when a relationship is aligned with His will. When you are with the person Allah has chosen for you, you experience a serenity that goes beyond external circumstances. It is a feeling of balance and spiritual comfort, even in times of difficulty. The Quran describes this peace in the relationship between a husband and wife. And among His signs He has created for you, from among yourselves, wives so that you may find tranquility with them, and He has placed love and mercy among you. Surah Ar-Rum 30:21. This peace, this sakina, is a direct sign that your relationship is under the blessing of Allah. You feel reassured, secure, and fulfilled, even in times of difficulty, because you know that you are in the divine plan. 3. Spiritual signs, common prayer and trust in the process. Another sign that Allah wants you to be with someone is the presence of shared spiritual moments, such as joint prayer and supplications. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, emphasized the importance of couple prayer and spiritual unity in a relationship. When you pray together, supporting each other in the way of Allah, you feel a deep connection and spiritual alignment that cannot be found elsewhere. One of the greatest signs that you are meant to be with someone is when, beyond life's trials, you maintain trust in the divine process. Supplication, dua, is a powerful tool in Islam, and when Allah answers your prayers by bringing you that special someone, it is a clear sign that your path is guided by His wisdom. An inspiring story comes from the life of Prophet Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon him. When he prayed intensely for the acceptance and unity of his companions and loved ones, and Allah answered his prayers resoundingly. Additionally, when Allah wants you to be with someone, there is often a feeling of complete trust in the process. You are able to trust in divine will, even when circumstances don't seem perfectly aligned. You say to yourself, "If Allah wants this for me, then this must be the best choice." 4. Inspiring examples from the Sahaba. The Sahaba, companions of the Prophet, had experiences that perfectly illustrate how Allah guides our relationships. The example of Gao, Ali ibn Abi Talib, may Allah be pleased with him, and Fatima Zahra, may Allah be pleased with her, is a model. Their marriage was divinely ordained and blessed. The simplicity of their union, their shared trials, and the love they had for each other was a source of inspiration for all. Their relationship was guided by the will of Allah and marked by deep sakina. Another example is that of Salama. May Allah be pleased with her. After losing her husband, she prayed to Allah to grant her a better husband. Allah in His wisdom answered her supplication and united her with the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, an alliance which was not only a blessing to her, but also to the Muslim community. In summary, the signs that Allah wants you to be with someone are multiple and can be seen in the little things of daily life. Doors that open easily, inner peace felt in the presence of others, deep spiritual connection, and trust in Allah are all indicators of divine will. When you are in the relationship Allah has planned for you, you feel a palpable blessing, a tranquility that can only come from Him. The harmony and blessing of the encounter. When an encounter takes place according to the will of Allah, it is marked by a divine harmony that goes beyond simple human affinity or compatibility. In Islam, everything that happens in our lives is part of Allah's plan, and when two people come together and unite in this divine will, inner peace, blessing, barakah, and mutual spiritual growth naturally arise. 1. Inner peace and divine blessing. When you're in the presence of someone you're meant to be with, the first thing you feel is a deep inner peace. This tranquility does not come from external circumstances, but rather from a spiritual serenity, which is a reflection of alignment with the will of Allah. In the Quran, Allah says, "And among His signs, He has created for you, from among yourselves, wives, so that you may find tranquility with them, and He has placed love and mercy among you." Surah Ar-Rum 30:21. This verse shows us that the meeting between two people destined to be together is not limited to a simple physical or emotional attraction, but that it is accompanied by tranquility and divine mercy. When this harmony is present, every shared moment becomes a blessing, and every interaction is guided by a feeling of gentleness, respect, and mutual understanding. In these relationships, you feel a barakah, blessing, that goes beyond material goods. Barakah manifests itself in moments of joy, support, and peace, even in the trials of life. For example, when a couple faces financial or family difficulties, their faith and unity in prayer and trust in Allah transform these trials into opportunities for growth. They support each other, knowing that each challenge is an opportunity to strengthen their faith and grow closer to Allah. 2. A source of spiritual growth and mutual support. When a relationship is in harmony with divine will, it becomes a source of spiritual growth. The two encourage each other in their faith, support each other in prayer and in times of doubt, and grow together in their quest for closeness to Allah. Spiritual support in these relationships goes beyond mere emotional encouragement. It is a deep strength that comes from shared faith and common commitment to following Allah's path. This type of relationship allows both people to continually remind themselves of the importance of prayer, dhikr, remembrance of Allah, and good deeds. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "The believers, in their love, mercy, and sympathy for one another, are like a body. If one of them suffers, the whole body suffers with him." Sahih Muslim. This notion of mutual support also applies in relationships where both people elevate each other spiritually. In these blessed relationships, each trial becomes an opportunity to draw closer to Allah and support each other in faith, thus strengthening their bond. 3. Examples of blessings in Islamic history. In Islamic history, several examples show how harmony and divine blessing were evident in the relationships of the companions and the prophets. Let's take the example of the marriage between Ali ibn Abi Talib and Fatima Zahra. May Allah be pleased with them. Their union, which was the epitome of spiritual harmony, was not only based on mutual affection, but also on a deep commitment to the will of Allah. Fatima and Ali were a model of patience, sacrifice, and devotion to Allah, and their relationship was a source of blessing for the entire Muslim community. Their love was a pure love, guided by Allah, and through their union they lived a life of service, piety, and fidelity to the divine mission of the Prophet. Likewise, the union between Salama and Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is an example of divine blessing. After losing her husband, Salama prayed to Allah to grant her a better husband. Allah answered his prayer by uniting him with the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and this relationship was marked by deep love and spiritual support. Their union has been a source of strength and blessing for the entire Muslim community. The harmony and blessing of an encounter, when guided by the will of Allah, brings incomparable inner peace. These relationships are not only based on love and affection, but also on common spiritual growth and mutual support and faith. The examples of the companions and the prophets illustrate that when two souls come together for the purpose of serving Allah, they become sources of blessing for themselves, for those around them, and for the community as a whole. In every encounter, every union, it is essential to remember that peace and barakah come from our alignment with divine will, patience and trust in the divine plan. Patience is one of the most important virtues in Islam, and it is often tested in our lives, especially in times of doubt or uncertainty. When we wait for something, whether it be an encounter, a relationship, or a blessing, it is essential to remember that patience is not just passively waiting, but trusting in God's plan, even when things don't turn out the way we planned. First, patience, sabr, an essential virtue. The Quran teaches us that patience is a quality rewarded by Allah. In Surah Al-Baqarah 2:153, Allah dit, "O you who believe, seek help in patience and prayer. Indeed, Allah is with those who are patient." This verse reminds us that patience is not a solitary act, but a path that we follow with the help of our faith and prayers. Patience in waiting for what we desire, whether it is a relationship or a special encounter, is a form of trust in the wisdom of Allah. Allah's timing, even if it does not match our desires or expectations, is always perfect. Allah knows what is best for us, and sometimes the moments of waiting are there to teach us something greater. 2. Allah's perfect timing. It's easy to get overwhelmed by anxiety and impatience, especially when we have a clear vision of what we want and it seems delayed. However, it is important to understand that Allah's timing is never late. In fact, He gives us exactly what we need, when we need it, even if it doesn't fit into our schedule. Allah says in the Quran, in Surah At-Tawbah 9:51, "Say, nothing will harm us except what Allah has decreed for us. He is our master." This verse is a powerful reminder that everything, including the timing of our dating and relationships, unfolds according to a perfect divine plan. Even if we don't immediately understand why some things take time, we must trust that everything will happen in its time, and that time will be the one Allah has planned for us. Third hadith on patience and faith in waiting. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "He who is patient, Allah will give him patience. Greater blessing than patience can no one receive." Sahih al-Bukhari. This hadith highlights the importance of patience in the process. In times of frustration or doubt, this patience becomes a source of blessing and strength. Waiting in patience while trusting in Allah is a way to strengthen our faith and receive blessings we never imagined. Patience does not mean simply waiting without taking action. It is also an active act of faith, where we continue to make efforts, to pray, to prepare, while trusting that Allah knows what is best for us. When you wait for an answer to your prayers or for a change in your life, remember that each moment of waiting is an opportunity to cultivate that patience and faith. In conclusion, patience is a key virtue for navigating life, especially when we are waiting for blessings or relationships. Allah's timing is always perfect, even when we don't understand why things don't go as planned. In these moments, we must remember that patience is a